All right, all right, all right, all right. Woo. Let me get settled, y'all. Let me get settled in here. Gotta catch my breath. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We made it to another week, another Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing okay. Now, the reason why I'm out of breath is because I had to run and turn the washing machine off. You know how women do? We multitask, and the laundry was going on. I was like, oh no, the live is getting ready to start. Let me turn this washing machine off because I could hear it. All right, we need to get it going. Welcome to Talk It Out Tuesday. How y'all feeling? It is Miss Tonya. How you doing? How you doing? Very soon I'm gonna bring Miss Tori into the mix because this is what we do. This is what we do. It's Tuesday. We got some very special guests who are gonna be on with us today. I want you guys to come on in. Come on in here and let me know where you're from, where you're listening from. I don't know. I'm right here in Flowtown. I'll let Tori get in here and tell you where she's at. I think she's somewhere exotic. I don't know. We gotta find out. Tori, where you at? Where you at?
Listen, I'm on the islands of Darlington County.
Oh my goodness. How's the weather?
The weather is beautiful.
Good, good, good. You see who we got in the house? See who we're gonna have joining us?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I'm excited.
yeah. It should be a pretty interesting conversation. Um, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the people, a little bit about some politics, what's going on here in life. But I don't know how you feel, but personally, I'm a little tired. So I hope I don't yarn because even though I was watching the DNC on TV, Tori, I was up late. I was watching, I was watching commentary, and your girl just didn't get any sleep. I promise you. And even though it's all the way Tuesday now, it's just like I had so many things and so many events over the weekend until I just haven't fully recovered yet. How you feeling?
I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
Yes, 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 yes. But I'm still fired up. I still know that I'm out here and we've got things to do. So I am doing something. I'm taking the advice from Michelle Obama. Let me ask you this. What are some of your takeaways, some of the highlights that you got from the DNC?
Mm, there were so many.
Just you
Um,
one.
Turned down for what? To the
Ah,
walls.
so the roll call.
The roll call, yeah.
The roll call was
With
off the chain.
DJ Cassidy. I love DJ Cassidy.
Yeah.
It was nice. I
You know
love that
what?
roll call.
They are never, ever gonna be able to go back to the same old boring roll call ever again. It's gonna have to be turned every time. Serious. It really is.
I was like, "What? I've
I was
never
excited about
seen."
North Carolina too. North
Yeah.
Carolina. Listen. Come on and raise up. I was like, now
Right.
y'all at the DNC, keep your shirts on though. Keep your shirts on.
That was my favorite part of roll
It
call.
it was. It was
The roll
exciting,
call.
I like the way they, just brought some youth into it, brought some fun into it, made it very interesting, and it also made, like, the delegates just a lot more hyped. The delegates were
Mhm.
super excited, so everybody was, like, really pumped up, so it was cool, and, I can't wait until we get Isaac in here and, he was at the DNC,
Yeah.
so he'll get to share a little bit of his experience and let us know how fired up he still is and or how tired he might be, so that's gonna be very interesting. But what else is going on? Anything you wanna talk about before we get our guest in here?
We're gonna talk about what you sent me with what's going on in Columbia, South Carolina, I think it is, at UNC.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, Miko, California did kill it. They played that California was it Tupac? Was it Tupac?
News. Listen, West
Tupac
Side.
and Dr. Dre?
The thing about what was, and that's another thing because of the music, and
Yeah.
everybody I feel like was just rooting for everybody. You was just like off your seat or whatever it is you were doing.
Hey
Jamel,
Jamel.
how you doing, man? Always good to have you in the house with us. Always, always. Listen, you were talking about what is it? UNC, USC.
Yes, USC.
USC. So I don't know how many people know what's going on, but let me pull it up here. Let me flip through and pull it up. Listen. So as you can see, and I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but on the campus of USC, that is the University of South Carolina, for whatever reason, there's going to be a roast on campus of the vice president. I hope you are looking right now for those of you who are watching and you can see on screen how her name is spelled. It is spelled C-U-M. Let me start over. C-U-M-A-L-A. Harris. Hmm.
The disrespect.
Let me put that full screen. Disrespect, sexist, massage. There's so many things that's wrong with that. So many things that's wrong with that. There's freedom of speech. Definitely there is, but I feel like do you have to detach morality from it? Do we have to do that? Do you Yeah, you may have the right to say, what you'd like to say. You may have the right to do what you like to do, but like you say, the disrespect, that is so
Yeah.
there's so many young women on this campus. What are you saying to them? Tori, I'm at a loss for words. Speak on it.
Listen, when you sent me that, listen, it takes a lot for me to get angry and upset. When I saw that, I was fuming. I'm like, what? And then I had to find the link to where you can actually sign the petition. I was like, well, can I sign the petition? Because I'm not a USC. I don't go to USC, but I still was trying to sign it. I was like, man,
Right,
this is
right.
this is crazy.
It's
Like,
horrible. I mean, and your boy, white supremacists. So the University of South Carolina, USC, has given permission for a student-led organization to bring two well-known white supremacists to the Russell House on September 18th, 2024. And this event its purpose is to roast Vice President Kamala Harris through this sexist and racist rhetoric. I hadn't heard of it until I went on to the Win with Black Women meeting, and I was watching it on YouTube, and I was like, "Wait a minute, you're not serious." And of course, South Carolina will always roll right on through with something extra ridiculous, and I don't understand. What I wanna do is I wanna go ahead and bring our guests into the conversation. I'm gonna bring Kelly. How you doing? How
Hey everybody.
how you doing? You could turn your volume down just a little bit. How you doing, Isaac?
Hello, hello, hello.
Good, good, good. Good to have you all in the house. Well, you see, Tori and I are what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
What is your immediate thought on here? I'll start with you, Kelly. What do you think?
I'm utterly disgusted. I did not attend USC, but I have a lot of colleagues, family, and friends who are alumni of University of South Carolina. I just feel that this should not happen. We had an incident a few months ago where Coastal Carolina University thought it was great to bring Donald Trump there to have his rally, and the students were extremely uncomfortable. But the students did not want it there. So I'm interested to see how the students are going to react to them having this roast on the behalf of our Vice President
Yeah,
Kamala Harris.
it's outrageous. Isaac, go ahead and pick up on in here, man.
Um, I am. You might be surprised at me saying this, but I am not shocked. I am not appalled. This has been the University of South Carolina. They have always displayed this manner. I can remember when I was living in Columbia. Students wore blackface back then. It was a situation 2 or 3 years ago where it had some racist act. This has been South Carolina. South Carolina is showing you who they are, and we have to kind of understand that this is what Donald Trump is talking about when he says that he wants to make America great again. He wants to make it great again for a certain set of people and how they used to do business. And so I'm not appalled. I'm not, shocked or anything. It's wrong. It is disgusting. And it shows where your tax dollars, Black people's tax dollars, are being paid to and what they're disseminating to our kids.
Is horrible, and like you say, you say you're not surprised it is South Carolina. I mean, I hear what you're saying with you know young students, with these girls on campus, with the height of everything going on. Should I be surprised? Maybe not. We're talking about, we had a president who felt like he could grab women by the pussy, and that was okay. So obviously, we've got two white supremacists who decide to host this event. But my thought is, okay, well, yeah, they're free to roast her, but does it have to be held on campus? Columbia is a pretty big city. There's lots of venues there. I'm sure there's a place there that they could have this that doesn't have to be on campus.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
pretty sure it's big, and like you said, they can go downtown. They can go to the State House. State House is just a couple of streets over. People protest there all the time.
mhm.
So there will be some uproar. In January of last year, students protested against racism on the University of South Carolina campus. So it will happen again, and this will be a steady thing that goes on. Every so often, you will see something of this nature.
Mhm.
And I'm sad that this is a culture and a world that our children have to grow up in, and they're just trying to get education. That's all
Yeah,
they're trying to do is get an education from what is supposed to be an elite school in South Carolina. But when you show this kind of horrific stuff, it's damaging to the mind, body, and soul of our children that attend.
it is absolutely. It's like I said, it's incredibly disappointing because here I'm from South Carolina. We live in South Carolina. You guys see me around here. I'm always, if you don't see me with a Gamecock hat on or t-shirt, because I support the basketball team. We've got the new quarterback is from our very own hometown. We've been supporting Carolina and supporting our Carolina schools, and for them to do this is incredibly disappointing. It really is. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tori, I'm gonna let you read some of the comments
Let me
from
put my
people
glasses on.
who are coming through here right now. Uh,
And Amina says, literally disgusting. Miko says, USC is seriously allowing this? Miko says, this is not free speech. And Malik says, what do we do when we say whatever we want about them? Devil's advocate. I guess this is their answer to the brother minister. They were forced to take their flag down, but they are still here. I feel it needs to be seen so those with eyes and morals can effectively direct their funds in the proper places. Lastly, is the school available for public events? 2025 is upon us.
you heard what the brother said,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, you do have the right to freedom of speech, but do you not have morals? Do you not have a mother? Do you not have a sister, a wife, a girlfriend? What are you doing out here? You understand what I'm saying? So that's where it is. We're gonna get off of that because we know it's wrong. And I don't want them to dampen what we are feeling because we're just coming off of the DNC. Isaac, you were out there in those DNC Chicago streets, brother. Come on and give us a little bit of that experience. I had to go on your page and pull up some of those pictures. I had to live through you a little bit. I did. I got to bring those pictures up so you can go ahead and talk us on through them.
It was very surreal. The feeling was, I mean, oh my God, this right here, this picture here that's James Clyburn's grandson from second from the right. That's Nick Scatili on the far right. He works in the Senate in South Carolina. Then of course our very own city councilman Shaquez McCall to your left. Alicia Abregati is in between us. She runs several campaigns and is a strategist here in the state. And then there's Marcurius Bird, my frat brother. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And he has been working in politics with me since 2006. So we're just excited from South Carolina to be in the building at DNC representing Jamie Harrison. This is Auntie Maxine Waters. Oh God. If you look at my pictures, she's actually holding my phone. I'm actually showing her a picture from 2015, and what she said to me is, "Oh my God, we got to get an updated picture.
Wow,
we got to get rid of this one." And so that's what she was saying. That. So it was an incredible experience, definitely.
Yeah,
what you guys heard on TV was not what was in the room. It was just electrifying off of there. So it was really cool.
I tell you what, I mean, I expected you to say that, but I could feel it, man. I could feel it through the TV. I really could.
Definitely there.
Oh yeah. Well,
I get to see I was there. So
you do.
I get to see I was there, so it was good.
That's an important part of history. Absolutely, it was. Well, give us like what one of your, or I don't know, maybe you have a couple. Give us a couple takeaways or highlights for you. You know, you were right there in the room. So, what do you feel like was a lot more electrifying being in the room than what we were able to witness on TV?
Oh, baby. Michelle Obama's speech. Oh, my God. When she said, does he know that he's vying for one of them black jobs? Oh, my God.
Did anybody tell him?
Erupted. I mean, it erupted. So her telling everything that she wanted to say for the past 8 years, for those 8 years it was in that she couldn't say because she was first lady, she said it on that floor, and it was just electrifying. One of the most somber moments that was big for me was the young girl that came on young lady that came on the floor and said that she was impregnated by her stepfather. And that if she had not had access to having an abortion, she would have had to carry her stepfather's baby.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That was just, it was crazy. So the room, you could just feel the tension in the room from that because it was definitely heartbreaking. And then the moment that Oprah came through and just, oh my God.
Was in the house.
In the house. You couldn't get within 50 feet of her. It was not letting you get near Auntie. Auntie was not having it. But it was a real cool experience. We got to see everybody. Charlemagne showed love to South Carolina or whatever. Now he's in trouble. Did a great job at DNC, and he come to say it's the foolishness on Monday.
Well, maybe I missed something. Well, what's going on with that?
He said he was on the Breakfast Club and said that we should be questioning the black woman. We should be questioning what she's done and who she is and all this stuff like that, because you should do that to every candidate. But she's a little different, Charlemagne. They're not doing it because she's a candidate. They're doing it because she's black. And so many people didn't like that, and they went to chastisement for that.
All right. Chime on in here, Kelly.
Yeah, first of all, I'm extremely jealous that Isaac had a chance to go to the DNC, but I had the pleasure of presenting at the California District Attorneys Association at the same time the DNC was going on. So I had the privilege of meeting Kamala Harris colleagues in California, and they all spoke extremely highly of her at her time while she was a district attorney in California. So that was just an amazing experience. But the DNC was just phenomenal. Being able to just hear the inspiring stories of individuals who are going through the experiences that unfortunately MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump is trying to strip the access and the freedoms away from these individuals. Hearing Michelle Obama a few years ago, she said, when they go, low, we go high. But this time she
No
was
more.
like, not today. Then I was like, yes. And hearing Oprah's speech, and funny, one of the cops that I actually worked with in Michigan, in Genesee County Sheriff's Department, he was one of the key speakers as well on the DNC stage. So I was like, yes, individuals that I personally work with is on the same page when it comes to criminal justice reform and how the legal aspects of these things work. So I definitely was moved. I am fired up. I'm definitely ready to go. And I'm just proud of all my friends and colleagues who were at the DNC representing our great state.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, I tell you what, I feel like everybody's fired up, or a lot of people around me. I certainly was. I didn't need to be in the room. I can see and I can hear, and there were just so many great takeaways from me. Definitely Michelle Obama. AOC, man. I mean, I don't know what it was like being in there, but she radiated straight through the
Mhm.
screen. If you could not feel what she spoke about, then I'm like, what part of America are you living in? You are just, I don't know, you're extremely privileged, or you're just in extreme denial. She brought it pretty real for me. Well,
2032 will be upon us soon, and AOC would probably be on the ticket. So that's just 2032 is just around the corner,
it is.
and she will probably be on the ticket, if not leading the ticket, or whatnot. So let's just keep her right there in our back pocket.
Yeah.
Listen, she's one to watch. I always, I paid attention. I've been paying attention to her for quite a while now. But after seeing her at the DNC, I was like, yeah, yeah.
And
And
she
and
and she is just like Kamala. She has a story to say. This is what opportunity looks like in America, because she was a waiter. She was a waitress.
Mhm.
She was making 2014 cents and decided to say, I'm going to do something, like Michelle Obama said, and she did something, and she ran for Congress. Imagine going from 214 an hour to going to 15 grand a month. It
listen.
changes your life. So she is a true American story of what we can be and what America can be, if we do the hard work and get out there and do something.
Absolutely. I like what you said. I like what you said. Imagine going from that 214. And I thought this in respect to Tim Walz. I'm like, imagine going from the
Imagine,
classroom to the White House.
right? It's inspiring, man. That's the America that I know.
From the
Exactly.
classroom. Right. That is American. Thank you.
That's the America that I
That is American. I see that we got Chucky here. He says, please don't forget about Jasmine Crockett.
Oh,
oh
yes.
yeah, we can't forget
Oh,
it. I just thought you were
listen,
gonna have another segment about Jasmine, because I was
listen.
gonna speak about Jasmine later, but
Listen,
save it.
there's always a good time to talk about Jasmine.
Yes, that is Jasmine is what me personally I've been waiting for a Democratic representative to be.
Mm,
To be unapologetic, to be authentically herself, to not necessarily have a filter, but have an unfiltered way and a professional way, and just letting them know. And
right.
Jasmine Crockett is everything and more. She's just amazing.
I love it. I
I was
love it.
sitting there looking like, hey Jasmine, how you doing, Jasmine? I need to move to Texas, Jasmine. Oh, yeah, yeah. She's
All right.
definitely definitely
She
definitely good.
is.
Definitely
I
good.
I love her. I mean, I just love like you said, Kelly, um, she brings it to them. She holds their feet to the fire, and she does it, and she's coming with receipts. You
Absolutely.
cannot play with her. She's not allowing you to play in her face. And she is, and you're right again. She's very much what I have been wanting to see someone represent in the Democratic Party. Okay, let get some backbone.
She got
We
it.
stronger than that, you
Yeah.
know?
She got it.
Stronger than that.
Absolutely.
So, I love it. What are some other takeaways? Anybody got something that sticks out for them?
Um, it was so many.
Yeah.
I mean,
From
it was just so many things that was there. I think Hillary Clinton had a moment, and when she's telling you, "Hey, I was there
Mhm.
when y'all sat down and took this thing for granted. Like, don't take this thing for granted. I'm the person that was on the receiving end of it.
I can show
So we
you.
got to we got to get out there and get it. So I think she moved the crowd in a way to say, when she set the stage for Michelle Obama to say, get out there and do something. Like, we can't sit back and think that this thing is won, or sit back and think because we got a lot of momentum right now that this thing is over. The
Right.
work to be done is in the next 70 days. I
absolutely.
thought that was very good.
I'm
Pastor Senator Warnock, he preached.
Yeah,
He
he preached.
preached.
Yeah, he
he
preached.
did.
He and House future House Speaker Hakeem
Hakeem.
Jeffries as well
Mhm.
too. They both came with it
Yeah,
and basically took it to church.
yeah.
Those were definitely some highlights for me as well.
Mhm, mhm. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad you went to Hillary Isaac because that kinda brings me into where I kinda wanted to segue into, like, what's next? Okay, so after the DNC, everybody's feeling fired up, everybody's feeling a little motivated. Well, what next?
Uh, I think for me, I think I took a different look at some things. And I think for me, and what the Democratic Party for Florence County will be focusing on is not so much as going after the voters like me, you, Kelly, and Tori. We know you guys are going to vote. We gonna call you. We're gonna send you a text message. But we really want to have a campaign to those people who haven't voted since Obama. Those people who feel like they've been left out and that Donald Trump is their best option. We need to have a strong campaign towards those people to say there is room for you, and not necessarily in the Democratic Party, but there's room for you in the Kamala Harris administration. Um, because at this point, it is about country and not about party. Yeah, I work for the Democratic Party. We got more principles and more values than I think than the Republican Party, but it is about country over party. And so there is room for you in the Kamala Harris administration. And so we want them to come over, take a look at what we got going on, and see how they can fit in there, how they can work, and tell us what they want to hear and what they need from us. So I think a campaign focus on those people, and we can get 20% of those people to come out to the polls and
Absolutely.
vote. Oh my God, what
Absolutely.
what will change the tide of that? And then a black man campaign, black men campaign. We need to work on them and say, hey, there's room for you in our party as well. And that's a separate thing. You group everybody together, but you got to have a separate campaign for our black brothers to know that the Democratic Party stands with them, but Kamala Harris stands for you, and all these lies and stuff that's been told. And they didn't tell you the other part of when she was locking people up. They didn't tell you that she created a program that was a that was a program that when you got out, she gave you a job, she gave you food stamps, she gave you housing, she gave you better opportunities if you didn't create a violent crime. So they don't tell you that part that she did.
Right.
So we got to get that campaign message out there. So that's what I'll be doing. And the takeaway I got from the DNC.
All right, man. I love to hear that, and definitely, I'm right there with you. I'm behind that and support that in any way possible. I think Kelly, I see you out here in these political streets very strong all the time. This isn't anything new for you. What's next for you?
For me personally, educating. A lot of people, and it's kind of disturbing to me, do not really know how our government functions and how our government works. I've been seeing a lot of individuals on our timelines talking about, well, if she's making these promises now, why she can't do it now? And a lot of people don't understand that the vice president only has two jobs. They are the president of the Senate, and they're there to tie, break the ties if they have any ties. And if anything happens to the president, then they will assume the role as president next. That's it. She has no power in this moment to pass any legislation, to sign any bills, to make any promises for us. So I really want to make sure, same thing like what Isaac was saying, make sure we capture those voters who may have not voted in a while, but also educating them on the importance of this election, but also the importance of the policies. It's clear. You got Project 2025 and Agenda 47, and then you got some amazing policies that Kamala did put out, from like $25,000 for first-time home buyers, to lowering grocery prices, to making sure that we have a ceasefire and have an adequate process, and making sure that they happen in phases and stages. Like, the people need to know and be educated on why this is important, but why it's important for us to vote and be able to be conscious on why we're voting in this election.
Absolutely. A big thing for me, like you said, that education and that motivation part of that piece, that is so very important, particularly in our southern states. And so that is why, and because we all of us keep running into each other because we do these type of things. But just being out here and making sure that people are being motivated, that they're getting registered to vote, it surprises me, to be honest, sometimes, when I'm out here and if I'm shopping and I stop at a shop or a gas station or even a shop in a mall, and I will ask the young person or whoever it is who is cashing me out, I'll ask them if they're registered to vote.
Mhm.
And you will be surprised how many people are just so unaware of what's going on. It's shocking, because for you to be in, working minimum wage, and one of the main people who really need to be out here and casting your vote, and you don't even know what's going on. So what do you say to that? How do we make these people feel that their vote is important, or what are some ways that you are doing and challenging yourself to make them know that their vote is important and they need to get in the game?
Me personally, I hit them where it hurts. Let's be honest. Most of us is on Medicare, Medicaid. A lot of them have, on welfare and food stamps. A lot of them do not have access to certain things. A lot of the students are in Title I schools or are having to go to public schools. I asked them those questions, like, are you a part of any of these programs? And majority of them going to say absolutely yes. And then I tie it back into and saying, well, if you do not vote, do you know that for Title I schools, for example, that your kids are going to have to go on a voucher program, and they're going to do away with the Department of Education? So what are you going to do? Where your kids is going to go?
Right.
Right now, you may be on food stamps, Social Security, welfare. Don't you know that in Project 2025, they want to do away with those programs? If you're a veteran, and it's really been shocking, a few veterans are Trump supporters as well. Don't you know that even with that, they want to cut your benefits and make a cap into what you are going to receive in your benefits? These are things that affect you directly. But I also like to tell them too, we put so much emphasis on federal level that we forget the state and we forget the local. That truly has a direct effect on us. For example, Governor McMaster, I call him Foghorn Longhorn, he literally this summer refused to accept funding for summer free feeding programs to feed our kids across this great state. Our governors have a lot of power that
Right.
they do not have to accept aid from the federal government if it's accepted. Same thing for local officials as well. They do not have to accept anything from the state level. So that's why voting really is important, because you may think that it does not have a direct effect, but it does.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. I see we got the comments coming on in. They snapping for you, Kelly. I tell you. Tori, let the people know what's going on in the comment
Miko says,
section.
snap, Kelly. Chucky says, exactly, Kelly. Ashley says, yes. Davita says, use your power. Chucky says, only through a stimulus check that Trump didn't have anything to do with other than signing his name and taking the credit. And
Wow.
a lot of people are talking about that. From what I'm hearing is they had more money in their pockets under him.
What were you about to say?
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, I actually have a couple of people that I'm upset with, that I'm debating with, because they refuse to vote. They are adamant stating that they feel like Trump is going to win. And then I have other people I'm debating with. They're like, I feel like the economy was better under Trump's administration. And I'm like, did you even read Project 2025? And they haven't even taken the time to read it. But there's a couple of people, like I said, I'm upset with, because they're refusing to vote. I don't know how I'm going to convince them to vote, but they're like, I'm not voting. I don't even care. I'm like, do you realize by you're not voting, you're actually voting? You are voting, even though you're not casting a ballot. You literally are voting for the other side. But they're like, I'm not going to vote because I feel like he's going to win anyway. So
here's the thing that I don't understand about that person who would just blurt out that the economy was better under Trump, and particularly for them, because I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm not around any billionaires or millionaires. And if you're not in that tax bracket, for you to even have that conversation, you're just saying to me that you're just watching too much right-leaning news, and you're just regurgitating what you're hearing other people say because you're not in that tax bracket. That does not have anything to do with you. So why are you saying that? That's not you. So it is false. I hate when I hear people say that, but I mean, I will allow them to say it, but I know that they don't know what they're talking about.
right.
Yeah.
The thing with the stimulus checks, though, people don't. Biden gave you a $1,400 check. Under Biden, it was a $1,400 stimulus check. So stop saying that Donald Trump gave us a stimulus check. Biden gave you one too, and it was more money.
Yes, he did.
So I mean, it just the idiotic comments that come from people, and they're worrying about money.
Yes.
You
And
need to understand that Donald Trump gave his buddies a tax cut, and the middle class people are paying for it, and we're paying for it until 2025. That's when it runs
Yep.
out.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
he gave a bill to the American people,
Yep.
Right.
for the top 1% of people.
Yep.
But there's
And why are we paying for wealthy people?
Right. And a lot of people, to Tori's point on the economy was better. Let's be honest. You were feeling the effects of Obama's administration. The 8 years of Obama having to clean up from the Bush era to get things right. So those 4 years was literally Donald Trump just coasting on by. And of course, he was trying to revert a lot of different things as well. But that's the reason why we were feeling the great effects of his administration, not because he did anything, it's because of Obama's administration.
Right. And the thing for me with the Trump check that they want to call it, because he didn't do it. I mean, it was actually an act of Congress. He actually signed the check. He put his signature on the check. But I also get down to let's talk about this. $1,200. How many months in a year? We got 12 of them, right? Well, $100 a month. Okay, how many days we got in a month? 30 of them. So you're talking about $3 a day. You pay for a coffee from Starbucks for more than that. I cannot believe how many people are making such a big deal out of $1,200. I know you probably spent it so fast you don't even realize how long you had it. As soon as it hit your account, or as soon as you could cash that check, it had to be gone, because nothing is inexpensive in America.
I
Nothing.
spent more than that in Chicago in 3 days.
Come on. $1,200. Like, I'm like, how broke can you be that $1,200 made your life, that you would
Right.
ignore everything against your people, yourself, your mothers, your sisters, your daughters. How can $1,200 make up for that? Like, really? How long did yours last? What did you do with it? I want to know what kind of shopping you did. Where did you go? I just don't get it. All right. That's that. I'm gonna step off of the soapbox on that. 12, but you not get ready.
I'm with you. I don't know what I'm with you though. I'm with you.
I
I'm with you.
mean,
That's the first thing they say is that Trump gave it. I want another stimmy. I want a
that
stimmy.
that did not stimulate me at all.
At all. At all.
At all. You want to know what was stimulating? And I didn't. It didn't even happen for me. I just got stimulated off of it from other people. When Biden was like taking away student loan debts, people were
Right.
like, okay, well, I got $56,000 recovered. I got 100. I know somebody who got over 100 and like 90 something $1,000 relief. 80, 50,000, 20,000. That helped people. I know someone who got their student loan debt relieved, and they are now currently not foreclosing, I'm sorry, closing on a house. So that to me, that's some type of stimulus, but you better get out of my face with $1,200. You can spend $1,200 so fast. Do you not have kids?
Listen.
Look,
Let me tell you something. I benefited from that. So when I got that email saying that my student loan was relieved, I thought it was a joke. Then I got the second email. When you talk about praise break running through this house, I benefited from that. So I told the Lord, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you talking about that, because I tell you what, I hear
Yeah.
far less people talking about,
Yeah.
them benefiting from student loan relief. But everybody keeps talking about $1,200 on a stimulus check. If you
It was
don't
the
go
student
sit down
loan
somewhere,
relief for me.
And the thing with the student loan thing, even when they bought it out and said, well, they were going to do up to $10,000, and people, oh, that ain't enough money. I got this and that. Well, if you take $10,000 of debt off of anybody, the credit score rises. It's about the credit score rising. It's about you being able to go out and get that home, go out and get that new car, go out and purchase what you need to purchase to make your life a little better. So it's not necessarily about the amount. It's great. You can do it all, but it will give your credit score some relief. Some people's credit score shot up to 800. It shot up from 450 to 660. Like, you gotta think about this thing in a holistic way.
absolutely.
And stop thinking about it in a crumble type of way where it's like you're getting crumbs. No, $10,000 off of anybody's debt. It's gonna rise your credit score, and it's gonna help you some good. So we just got to think about this thing in a more futuristic way.
I agree with you, because to me, $1,200 is some crumbs.
it is.
That's crumbs.
It is.
What, and you don't have to be, and I'm not saying that as a big shot, but $1,200 is some crumbs. Let's be realistic about it. You still need to be fiscally responsible in your life, regardless of whatever you're making. But I know young people who pay rent like up to $1,800 and $2,000 a month, and they're living in 1-bedroom apartments. And you're talking about $1,200. That's not even paying their rent. So get out of here with that. Get out of here. Y'all know better. Okay. All right. I see we've got some more people coming in with some comments. Tori, get on in those comments and see what the people got to say.
Amina says, nah, a lot of them that be so pro-Trump based on economic really be conflating the feeling they had from scamming unemployment during COVID and them PPP loans that they created fake business to get. Malik says that was a light snack. Stimulation is nothing like reparations, the big R word. Chucky says, say it loud for the people in the back, Tanya. Kimberly says, the way most people spent that stimulus checks tells us all we need to know. It wasn't enough to invest. Most people didn't even use it strategically. It was spending money for most. I don't think it changed the trajectory of anyone's life. Chucky says, please educate them, Isaac.
Yeah. But I mean, we got to be honest. I like what Kimberly said. She said, You know, what did she say? I don't think it changed the trajectory of their life.
Yeah.
$1,200 cannot. Because even if you let's say you really needed $1,200, which means you don't have $1,200. So let's say you had to borrow $1,200 from someone. When you borrow that, the likelihood of you being able to pay it back is very, very slim, because that's not a life changing amount of money. Like Kimberly said in her comment, it's not something that you can invest. Like, that might take you out of an initial little jam, but you still jammed up, because if you needed $1,200, by the time you get paid again, you can't pay that back and pay what you've got to pay forward. You can't do it. So I just want people to dead that little Trump check thing. Don't you come around me talking about no Trump check. Please don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it.
And y'all, she has a way with words. So watch your
Don't
step.
do it. I mean,
Malik,
I might make them rhyme a little bit. It might be a little poetic.
Malik says, I did empower myself because I also got unemployment payments out the is that Wazo? While I started two
Wazoo.
Wazoo while I started 2 businesses. Okay.
You
Well,
got
I
to make it
mean,
work.
say
Yeah.
that, but most people, when they throwing up that little check, that's not it. I want us to look at this also. A lot of people may have or may not have watched the DNC, but they're saying, I don't know what they were listening to, but people are saying that they're not hearing any of Kamala's policies. I'm like, huh? What do you guys have to say about that? Because I'm hearing I'm hearing things that are
They were
pleasing
not
me.
paying attention.
They were not paying attention. She laid it out so clear.
She dropped it before
Before.
the Monday before the Wednesday before the DNC. She dropped it
Mhm.
because she knew that was going to be a talking point. So my whole thing with people in this whole Kamala mess is, you got a black woman who is running for office, who is qualified, who has been elected on every level there is, and she's going to be the president of the United States. She will be the president of the United States, and you're making her be accountable to issues and to things, but not one of you are saying what Donald Trump did. What is Donald Trump's plan? What is Donald Trump's thing? Nobody's talking about Donald Trump and what he's going to do, but you're also worried about the plan that Kamala Harris has. Do you know that Kamala Harris was the engineer behind capping your grandmother's insulin at $35? The same grandma you wouldn't give a ride to the store to go get her medicine.
Mhm.
It's now capped at $35. He's
Right.
capping credit card fees. They won't be able to charge you but so much in credit card fees.
Right.
Like, they gave over $190 billion in student loan debt. Like
That's a lot of relief.
Yeah.
like y'all, like, come on.
We
Yeah.
have a problem in America, and the problem is showing through this election. We don't like women. Let's just be honest. We do not like women because
Why?
we have a 34 convicted felon with more cases pending and waiting on him. As they say that Jack Smith is trying to revive the election fraud case. You have a man who is a proven sexual assaulter and who sexually assaults women. And he goes on these rants in Mar-a-Lago, just ranting this hate and how he doesn't like her and how she's not qualified, and he's not given his plan. He's not presidential, but
At
yet
all.
he's getting all of the media coverage. He's getting all the praises. And it really just boils down to the fact America just don't like women.
Well, I think America is going to have to get over it, because the reason why we're all here is you came through a woman. You absolutely did. So let's just start there. But it's not even so much that, it's a whole lot of disrespect. You are right. You are right. That is unfortunate, but I'm happy to see that there are so many people who are now riding with her. I'm watching Republicans who are stepping into their right frame of mind and who are saying, okay, you know what? Trump has taken this too far. This does not represent us. He is not presidential, like you say, Kelly. He's not presidential. He absolutely is not. He was never, even as the president, he wasn't qualified. He didn't do a great job. He only helped his friends, and everyone laid that out, and you could see that. You saw it happen in real time. So let's just be honest about that. What I want to go back to say, seeing that you said he was a presidential, I want to say how incredibly presidential Kamala Harris was on Thursday night.
Mhm.
Now, all of the speeches leading up to her, there were so many very great speeches, and typically the DNC and the RNC as well. These guys have speech writers. They're typically reading from a teleprompter. They're going to read their speech. It's going to be relatively good. You're going to like it or not like it, or you're going to listen to it, and that's going to be what it is. But there were so many great speakers who impacted us. And so as I was waiting for Thursday to come, I can't say that I know what my expectations were, but she superseded them.
Oh yeah.
She came out, she was very confident. She looked so presidential. Her suit was nice. Her hair was nice. Her tone was great. She spoke the way she needed to speak. You know, I saw a president. I feel like she has really stepped into her voice and who she is, and she knows how to represent herself to the people, and I love to see it. What did you guys feel about it?
I
I
felt the
thought it was great.
same.
Yeah, I felt the same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the
Definitely.
same. And I guess I'm a political, and so my favorite part of her speech, well, one of my favorite parts of her speech was the whole Gaza and Israel comment. Um, and I took that like I was on the streets. Basically, she said, if you got two people living next door neighbor, the mama came outside and said, listen, if that boy hit you, you hit him back. But now you ain't just gonna be picking on that boy and beating on that boy every day, every time you see him. That's what the Gaza and Israel thing is. She said, I'm going to defend the right for Israel to knock him in the mouth every single time because of what Gaza did on October 7th. But hey, now, Israel is kind of wrong for keep killing these people over here, not innocent people, and that ain't fair either. She stood presidential in the line of fire. There were people outside that was chanting to kill her, chanting that she shouldn't be president, chanting that she should be making babies and at home with her husband. And yet she stood in the arena, 10 toes down, and said, I'm standing in this. Come and get me. I'm telling you what it is. And so Republicans could no longer attack her on that because she stood in the fight. That was the biggest thing they were saying that she couldn't speak to, and she spoke to it, and she stood in it, and she spoke with such power. And so I was just so proud of her in that moment that she took that. So that was impressive for me to be that presidential.
Yeah, she definitely was very presidential. So I'm just excited, guys. I like Michelle Obama. She told the people, she was like, "You guys need to do something." I know that we have been doing something. I know that I've gotten a lot more friends and texts and from people who are interested in doing things, who are paying attention to things like, okay, well, a lot of these things and a lot of these conversations you've heard before. We've been having these conversations, we've been having events and we've been having live conversations in actual venues, and now people are paying attention. So that for me is very good. I want people to pay attention to their local races because that's going to be very important. Yes, we want local and state because she's going to need help. It's going to take more than just Kamala being the president. We've got to actually have people in office to make sure that it works well. It takes team effort. It's called an administration, and it's going to take a house. It's going to take the Senate. We need everything that we can get.
And that's what I was going to say, Tanya. Understand that the president only has certain limited powers.
Yes.
And that Congress, that's the House and the Senate, they make law. They are the ones that's doing a lot of these things. Kamala is, she's in the seat and she can do some executive orders, but she needs the Senate and she needs the House. So we need you to think about down ballot candidates, your congressional people, your Senate, your state House reps, your state Senate people. We need help, but even in the states, she needs help, because if we can get control of that House, it doesn't matter what the governor says. We got a leverage in one side of that House, but because the South Carolina state legislature is all Republican in the Senate and the House and the governor's mansion, there's only so much the Democrats can do. So
Right.
understand that Kamala's in the same situation. That's why we can't get the John Lewis Voting Rights Act passed, because we only have control of the Senate and the White House. We need the House to do that.
Right.
And so that's why the Supreme Court is so freaking important, y'all. It's so important. Donald Trump wants to be elected to pack the court with more young court, with more justices, so that he can do what he needs to do when he gets in there.
Right.
He's going to take your voting rights away. He's going to take every right away, because the Supreme Court is going to tell him that he can. They told this man that he is immune.
Absolutely.
That
And-
he is immune. The
He's
people that
immune.
he put there.
And
That's
don't
why-
think that I'm not saying
important.
don't think that states is not powerful. You see what's happening in Louisiana right now,
Yes.
where they're trying to bring up the Dred Scott case
Mhm.
and trying to say that she's not even qualified
Qualified.
because she's not considered a whole citizen.
Right.
This is happening in the states, you guys. In the states.
Yes, absolutely. So you've got to pay attention, and you've got to put the right people in your office. All the way to your school boards. When people don't understand how political that the school board is in
Mhm.
your town and in your city. If you are not happy with what is going on in the school districts with your kids' school, you are directly responsible. You need to be voting in these special elections. You need to pay attention who's running for your city council, for your county council. You need to pay attention to that. You need to put these people in these district senate offices. You've got to vote. You've got to be invested in voting in more than just the national election, more than just the presidential election, because where you live is, I got to tell you, is the most important vote that you probably could make. And yeah, we live in a red state. We're in South Carolina. We know that, but still, that does not stop me from educating, motivating, and making sure that I'm out here doing my part and making sure that I vote. Just because my state is red, let me tell you something. It's not because of me. It's not. Now, if they were pushing some policies that I felt were a little more fair, that were for the people, I don't care about that. I'm not even thinking about that R or that D, to be honest with you, in a lot of ways. But they're just not doing it, and they haven't been doing it for a long time. So I feel like we need to pay attention to who is paying attention to people, who have people's best interests, not their friends, not their own pocketbook. Who is paying attention to the people? Guys, we've almost been talking an hour here. I want to give you a chance to give a last little comment. And I really think we need to have this conversation again. We're going to have to do a part 2 on this, because I didn't even really ask any of the questions that I really had to ask. And we're already at an hour. So, Isaac?
I just want people to take this election very serious. I know every election they say, "Oh, this is consequential," and this is consequential. This election here is consequential. They always say, if you want to keep something away from black folk, put it in a book. What they did, and it's devastating. And they're telling you what they're going to do. They're no longer hiding it. They're telling you what they want to do. And so one of the key pieces is, I want you guys to understand where the Office of Civil Rights is. It's under the Department of Education. So even if you have something civil rights related and they get rid of the Department of Education, how are you going to fight it? Discrimination, all that good stuff, that's in the Office of Civil Rights. So understand that we're trying to educate you. We're not trying to put you in a daze or anything. We're just trying to educate you for your people that are coming behind you. Your kids, your nieces and nephews, your little cousins, they're coming behind you. So leave the world better than what you found it. Leave your
Oh,
community better than what you found it. And that speaks volumes, and we need to do that. And so take this election serious. If I can do anything for you, I'm on every social media platform, Isaac Wilson. If you're in Florence County, come and join the Florence County Democratic Party, and we'll educate you and put you in the right direction for
all right, man. Kelly?
Oh man, that was kind of tough to follow. Um, for sure. Like Isaac said, this is very serious. If we do not do what's right in this election, we may not ever have another chance to vote ever again. You already see where the Supreme Court has given this man presidential immunity if he's to be elected again, and he's basically saying he's going to be on dictator on day one. No dictator said they're going to be a dictator on day one. They are going to be a dictator. So believe what he is saying. And I want you guys to understand that your power is within the vote. You have the power to hire and fire anyone that you're not pleased with. We have a thing of putting elected officials on a pedestal, but we forget that they are public servants. They are here to serve us. They are here to help us and lead the way for us to have a better tomorrow. I tell everybody it's not about me. It is about my 11 nieces and nephews. It is about your kids and the things that for a future for them. When it comes to women reproductive rights, it's not about me, but it's about those who are back home in my home county in Marion County who does not have access to an OBGYN. They have to travel to either Florence or Myrtle Beach, which is an hour away. It's about them. So please make sure that you're registered to vote. If you are registered to vote, please check your registration. They are purging a lot of individuals' voter registrations now. So please verify and make sure that you're good to go. And bring a friend to the polls. Just don't go by yourself. Bring your aunties, your uncles, your
you.
cousins, your colleagues, and also see how you can get involved. I'm across all social platforms as well. I will be educating on my dirty politics page and giving opportunities on how you can volunteer on local campaigns from Horry County all the way over to Florence County. So you can get involved to help get these individuals in their seat.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
And if you're in
Well,
Marion County, vote Miko Pickett for
Oh,
mayor.
oh,
absolutely.
Vote Miko Pickett for
Absolutely.
mayor. She is a great person. She is smart. She's an advocate for the people. I've watched her for a long time. So go to MikoForMayor.com. If you're in Marion, go and vote Miko Pickett. You will not be disappointed in her leadership.
absolutely. Absolutely. All right. All right, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and get you guys on out of here. We are here. It's Talking Out Tuesday. We're talking a little bit about life, talking a little bit about people, talking a little bit about politics. Yes, we are. Tori, it's been a good one.
This was a great show. You definitely right. We gotta have a part two.
We have to have a part two. I think we will have to. I do. But before we get out of here, what I do want to do is I want to let people know what is going on. There's a couple events that I got to let people know about. On Thursday, on this Thursday, August 29th, there is going to be a special historic street dedication ceremony in the name of Senator Maggie W. Glover. All right, Senator Maggie Glover on Thursday, August 29th at 6 p.m. at Majority Baptist Church. So, speaking of politics, first Black senator in
Yes.
South Carolina. So, definitely an honor to be a part of that celebration. I'm going to be there. So, you guys make sure that you come out for that. And Tori, there's a little something that I got to let the people know. And this one is a little early, but I got to let them know about this going on. October 5th. I got to let the people know that Tiger Homecoming is coming around the corner. So the Tiger Alumni Homecoming Sneaker Ball will be on Saturday, October 5th. And the doors open at 9 p.m. Hosted by yours truly, Miss Tonya the poet. And who will be in the building? Mr. Cheeks performing live. We're going to have DJ Skills and DJ Styles. So it's going to be at the PD Shrine in Florence, South Carolina. Go ahead and get Get your tickets. Go ahead to Eventbrite. Gotta let the people know about that, Tori. It wouldn't be right if I didn't start that Tiger stuff a little early on them.
I already know how this gonna go.
I'm already picking out. If you notice, I got on a little gold already. I'm already getting all my purple and gold out the closet, pulling out my Tiger trunk. I'm ready for the people.
I already know.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I tell you what, it's a lot of people in here who were in the house with us tonight. Audrey Davis, thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We had Miko Pickett in the house with us. Miko for mayor.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being in the house with us. Candace in the house, thank you for joining us. And we also
Yes.
had Malik Williams. What is Malik talking about?
He said, "Glad I could finally catch you two. I usually have to work." Glad you was here, Malik. Davita says, "Great discussion and education."
All right.
Charlene says, "Great show." And happy belated birthday to Charlene and Chanela. They celebrate their birthday on yesterday. So happy
Oh,
birthday.
well, happy birthday, lady. We got to give you some birthday love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We also had Chucky in the house with us. Want to go ahead and tell you we had Anthony Hall in the house with us. We're
Yes.
gonna have Anthony. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know who to expect us. Our guest for next week will
Mhm.
be Anthony Hall, as well as Carla Eady. Carla Eady will
Mhm.
be running for an office in the school district. So make sure that you tune in so you can hear where she's coming from. Anthony Hall, he works with the Democracy Center here in Florence, South Carolina. So we've got two more engaging guests for you. We're in the political season, Tori. It wouldn't make sense if we're having conversations and
Yeah.
we're not talking a little bit of politics,
Right, right, right.
right?
Absolutely.
All right. That's all I got for the people. That's all I
Listen,
got.
ain't nothing else to be said. This has been an amazing show. I really, like I said, part two. This was
Mhm.
an amazing show. So, hey, I was a little nervous, talking about politics, but this has been amazing for me.
No, but I tell you what,
Y'all actually making me like politics,
we
because
we
I
we
usually don't.
we have to have
I usually,
conversation. We learn from
yeah,
each other.
yeah,
We don't know everything. So
nah,
you've got to be in conversation, and that's why I feel like bringing people on who are going to engage in the conversation and give out a little bit more information. That's important, because if you're
hmm,
listening strictly to one-sided news, that might not be the best thing for you.
right, absolutely,
And you definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, you definitely need to be tuning into some of the sources that are in your very local areas, in and around you. You need to know what's going on in your community. You need to know who your community leaders are. You should. Who are these community leaders, these community business owners and business leaders? What is going on? What is needed? What is the heartbeat of your town? If you
hmm,
don't know, you need to find out. You need to
right,
find out, and then it's very, very easy. Well, like I said, that's all I got for the people. We're gonna have to do a part two.
absolutely.
Next week we'll have Anthony Hall again, and we have Carla Eady. So I hope you guys are joining us. Anything else you want to tell the people?
No, just make sure you guys vote.
All right.
Vote, vote, vote. And to those people, those friends of mine, y'all about to become associates because if you say you're not voting, you about to get blocked. Just
Oh my
just so you
goodness.
know, you're gonna try to reach me. You're not voting. You about to get blocked.
Well, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. I can't. We're not gonna close on bad terms. We cannot close on bad terms. Listen.
I'm just joking, Tanya, but for
No,
real,
no. I know you. I know you are.
it's serious. It's serious though because it's serious. I just hope that they have a change of heart. That's, to be honest with you, I hope they have a change of heart. But, I just want people to realize the seriousness of this election and just to get out
Mhm.
and vote.
Yeah.
Just
I,
get out
I
and vote.
I knew you were joking, but I did want to say this. I still want to
Okay.
say this.
Okay.
Because there are going to be people who don't agree with us. So we're not out here I'm not out here trying to change someone's mind who is really a heavily right leaning, almost cult like mindset. That's not my ministry. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to educate someone who might not know. I'm here to help someone who needs to get registered, who might need to get registered. I don't think that we're all going to agree on everything. We never have, we never will. But there is something that is better for a greater majority of the people. And I think we need to be honest about that. We have to be honest when someone is off the rails. If we're not going to be honest about that, then I cannot expect you to do right by people. If you looking at a lie, bold face, and supporting a lie, bold face, I can't trust what you're representing. We're not going to fight about it, but we just don't share that in common. And Imma let you do what you need to do, but I'm just gonna hope that and I'm gonna see that are there more people who care about people than people who just want things for themselves or just for people who are like them? And I hope that
Mhm.
there are people who love people. I like the fact that we're talking about joy. Like, a lot of times when I make posts, and I've always been doing this, and I say one love, and people always make me feel like, that's kinda lofty, and it's not. It isn't. Because I do feel like it takes all of us, and when I say all of us, I literally mean all of us. Yeah, there's gonna be people who think a little bit different, but there's a larger majority of people who I feel like really care. The majority of real American people really care. Think about this, Tori, because you see this a lot too. I talked about the fact that, I wear my Gamecock hat a lot, but you also see me wearing the American flag a lot. I got so many American flag hats, and you'll see me wearing my camo and my American flag. And for years, people be like, Tanya, why you got on that American flag? You know, because for so long, people were relating it to the Republican Party. And I'm like, "No, I'm American. I am gonna wear this." They don't just get to hijack it. And, another thing that made me feel really good watching the DNC is when I saw all of those flags flying, I was like, "Thank you. Aren't we all American?" They can't just hijack it. They aren't just American, and they were really making it feel like, like it was theirs, and it isn't. And they aren't even
Right.
representing a mass majority of the American people. I feel like most of us are good people, So I'm happy to see that joy. I'm happy to see people excited. I'm happy to see people want to help people. I'm happy to see certain Republicans in the administration of even Bush, some of his administration coming up and saying, hey, they're supporting Kamala Harris. Support something that looks right. We need a change, and the Republican Party just needs to be honest. They've gotta rework some things. They've gotta do some cleaning up. Things have gotten a little mismanaged, not just a little, but a lot,
Right.
and they need to do better, and I believe that they can. So
Right.
take that time to do that. But right now, we've got somebody who is for now and for the times. And let's be real and let's be honest and let's make sure that we move this country in a direction that it needs to be moved. And until the next time, people, until the next time.